Greetings. Hope you're having a great week. This is Blair, and pounds equals pain. And it's not about your physical weight, that's for sure. So thanks for being here. I just want to talk to you guys really quickly, briefly, about something that I learned on Kilimanjaro that's going to really apply. I mean, the question is, as self-employed, how do you get yourself out of the self-employed rat race where you are the business, you are the asset, you are the liability, it's all hanging on you, and you don't see scalability anywhere in sight? So I'm going to do a series of these over the next couple of weeks to give you some tips if you want to learn how to do this. And I think it'll be pretty enlightening. So if you're interested in this, make sure you're here every week. I'm going to be broadcasting a couple times a week, give you some little snippets on how to do this if you want to do it. If you want to do it in depth, you can go to blairsinger.com/pain, as in pounds equal pain, and we'll talk to you about it. And we can have a discussion on what the best strategy is for you. So check this out. When we go to Kilimanjaro, there's an expression. We climb the mountain there. Oop, there it is right there. Kilimanjaro there's an expression. The more you're carrying in your backpack, as you go to altitude, the more pain you're going to experience in your body, physically and obviously mentally as well. So the whole idea is to travel light. It's to travel light and carry only the gear you need. Look, I have summited Mount Kilimanjaro 10 times. And here's what I know. It requires 4 things to get to the top of that mountain successfully and down successfully. Number 1, you need to have the right gear. You have to have the right gear. You can't be going with flip-flops and sandals and stuff like that. You got to have the right shoes, the right boots, the right gear, number 1. Number 2, you need to have the right guide. Somebody that speaks your language, that's been up there a few times, that is qualified as a qualified guide to help you. That's number 2. Number 3 is you have to have the right attitude. You have to have an attitude that you're going to stick it through thick and thin, that you're not going to give up, that you're going to follow the protocols, follow the procedures. And number 4 is you got to prepare. Okay. Now, if you don't do all 4, you got to do all 4 to get to the top. Now, why am I mentioning this? Is because it's exactly the same in business. If you want to go from being self-employed and being a one-man band and being really good at it, by the way, because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably pretty good, but you're only limited by the amount of time you have and the amount of energy you got. And that's not a good thing, particularly if you want to make a difference in the world, have a lot of reach. You got to figure out how to scale this thing, how to get myself out of Robert Kiyosaki talks about the rat race, the investing rat race, where you're living from paycheck to paycheck. Well, when you become self-employed, you're not getting somebody else's paycheck. You're taking your own paycheck, but it's still paycheck to paycheck or gig to gig or sale to sale. So it's really not much different. It's only the difference is there's no fallback. So how do you do it? First step, remember this, on the mountain, as our great mountain guides, Kevin Sharilla and Kristen Sandquist say, pounds equal pain. The more pounds you're carrying as you go to altitude, the more pain you're going to experience. So the whole idea is to lighten your backpack, not to make it heavy. I had a fellow once from Malaysia, a very dear friend of mine, and he struggled on day 1 to camp 1. He just struggled. He was in great shape, great physical specimen, and he struggled. And the next day he struggled even more. Finally, we get to camp 2 or 3. We said, Su Chang, can we say what's in your backpack, dude? We take his backpack, and you're supposed to be carrying about 12 pounds. He's carrying like 30. Why? I mean, and our porters who are carrying most of our gear are carrying 40, 45 pounds. That's what their job is. Our job is to travel light. He goes, well, I had all this stuff and I couldn't fit it in my other pack, and I wanted to carry it, and I wanted to make sure I had all the gear I needed. Big lesson. Pounds equal pain. And what was happening, he was not going to make the summit of that mountain because he's carrying stuff around. And so in our debrief, said to him, I said, so what are you learning? What do you learn? He goes, oh my God. He goes, this has been a priceless trip. I go, why? He goes, my entire business is like this. I carry everything. I don't get rid of anything. I'm carrying around excess baggage of equipment, people, and ideas and furniture and everything in my business. He goes, I need to lighten the load. He goes, and I'm carrying it all. In your business too? He goes, in my business too. So you have to think about this. If you're going to go to altitude, if you're going to get to the apex, get to the top of it. And by the way, we created a program called Blair Singer's Apex Program, which we're especially brand new design program. If you want to check it out, go to blairsinger.com/pain, and we'll tell you a little bit about it. But in this program is designed very specifically for entrepreneurs that are trying to get out of the rat race of being self-employed and to be into the world, the dream world that you really went into business for was a scalable business that works without you, that creates a legacy. Okay, so what do you got to do? So the first thing is you got to shed weight. You got to get rid of too much gear. You got to get rid of guides that are not going to work for you. You've outgrown your tax account. Maybe you've outgrown your bookkeeper. You've outgrown some of your friends. You got to let those go and move on to the next level, or you'll never make it to the next camp. Okay. And of course you have to prepare and have the right attitude. So, and let's talk about the attitude. What do you got? What pounds am I carrying up there? Well, you may be carrying the weight of, I got to do it myself. The weight of, life is complex and things are just complicated. No, you need to make things simple. You take a concept like a high ticket sale and you make it very, very, very simple. So it's not such a heavy thing to try to sell. How do you make it simpler? How do I make this easier? How do I get out to more people? Hey, Kamga, Jean Kamga, good to see you. Hello from Thailand, Chris. Excellent. Yeah, by the way, if you have some questions, Terasak from Thailand, good to see you. If you've got questions about the topic, type them in. I'll do my best to answer your questions. But remember, pounds equal pain. Get that through your head. So if you're experiencing pain in your business, chances are you're carrying too much. And chances are you're carrying too much of the wrong idea. See, one of the things that I've learned in working with coaches and trainers and entrepreneurs over all these years is that the same person that likes to be a coach or a trainer, they're lone wolf individuals. They love to do things on their own. They pride themselves on their personal strength, which is great, but not so great if you're trying to build a big business. And because if you're trying to build not even a big business, a scalable business, a business that will allow your work, your intellectual property, your ideas to proliferate amongst thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people around the world, and you receive residual income from all of that. That's a scalable business. That's one type of a scalable business. There's several different kinds. Okay. So the key here in the first step of getting out of the S and going into the B quadrant or the scalable business is to shed weight. Get rid of some of the things that are holding you back. And then probably the biggest thing holding you back is your little voice, is your beliefs about around the world. The belief that lazy people are bad people. Maybe they are. Maybe they're more efficient. Did you ever think about that? Or that I got to do it myself. That's like a 40-pounder in your backpack that you got to do it yourself. Or I can't find a team. I'm not ready for a team yet. That's another 30, 40-pounder. By that time, you're not going to make it to Camp 1 because your backpack is going to be so heavy in the way. And as you go up in altitude, remember, the air gets thinner. There's not as much oxygen up there. That's why so few people go up there. So you got to shed the weight in order to get freer and have more energy at the higher altitude. Okay, so wherever you're at, and I say, I'm fine right now, Blair. Yeah, but let's take it up another 5,000 feet. Let's take it up another 8,000, maybe 10,000 feet and see what happens to your body. Pounds equal pain. You've got to shed and get rid of. My friend, Robert Kiyosaki says it really well. He says, simplicity is genius. That's his line. Simplicity is genius. The problem is with a lot of self-employed people, particularly people that are smart and do really well in school, they have a lot of pride in letting people know what they know. And so they make things unduly complicated for other people, but it lets other people know how smart they are. That's another 25-pounder in your backpack. Got to shed those kinds of thoughts. So many times the thoughts that you grew up with around money, around teams, around business, about yourself, about your capability, these are boulders that are sitting in your backpack that as you climb to maybe serve you at this level. But if you're going to go to a higher altitude, you're going to have to shed them out of your backpack and leave them by the wayside. Okay. Now, some of them you may hold very near and dear to you. You may have that bookkeeper that you've loved forever and ever and ever, and she's just wonderful, but she just doesn't know how to help you create financial statements, does she? And when you go to the bank to try to get loans or try to get a line of credit, the banker's looking at you like, dude, I wish I could help you. It looks like you're making enough money, but I don't see the assets here. So you need to shed the things that aren't working for you because they now become a weight in your backpack. And we're all trying to reach some apex. We're all trying to reach some mountaintop. So if you want some help with this and you want to get onto it quickly and effectively, go to blairsinger.com/pain. Let's talk about the pain you need to jettison right away to get yourself moving to the next level. Because over the series, I'm going to talk about making this transition from self-employed rat race or self-employed purgatory or self-employed limitation to how you get to a true branded, scalable business that is able to generate income without your time and without your energy. Because you know what? The longer you climb, here's the other part. If you're not taking this climb fairly quickly, you're going to wear out. Because no matter how good a shape you are in, at altitude, you just can't last there forever. And you can't climb and train forever. I mean, at the age I'm at, I've summited 10 times. I think 10 years from now, I'm not going to be summiting that mountain anymore. And you're not going to be wanting to flog your body around as a self-employed individual anymore. Okay? So now's the time to jettison. Pounds equal pain. Get rid of the pounds. And by the way, it's not really about your weight, but it is to Achilles. If you're carrying too much weight physically up there, you're gonna feel it once you start going to altitude. So the whole idea is to prepare yourself, train hard, and train for altitude. Don't train for the flatland. Don't train for the business that you have now. Train for the business that you want to have. Study with the people and find the guides who have guided people to the top of Kili, the top of Everest, not to the top of the hill in your backyard. Okay. So again, let go of stuff, shed the pounds or feel the pain. And the problem with it in business is you feel the pain and it could be a numbing pain that lasts for a very, very long time, for years. I'll give you an example. I know people that said they weren't good at marketing, not good at marketing, and I don't need to market and all that stuff. And so they struggled, their business struggled for years until they got rid of that poundage of thought that they weren't good at marketing and found out they actually were pretty good. And if they just applied themselves and applied their team building skills, they could all of a sudden take a quick jump into the B quadrant. Okay. So again, I hope this helps. Let's see if there's any questions. David Belfer's got some of those excess pounds from Australia. Thank you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Inspire, lead, change, good vibes. Thank you, Sivaram. Greetings to everyone. Luis Alonso Gonzalez Garcia from California. Okay, good. I just thought you were in Querétaro, Mexico, but good to see you, my friend. Again, thanks for tuning into this. And again, play this again. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a lot of great stuff. There's going to be more in-depth series there, but go to blairsinger.com/pain and make an appointment. Sit down with one of my guides, a good guide, a guide that knows how to go to Kili, or a guide that knows how to get you to the scalable business, not the one that's going to keep you going up and down the valley. Okay. And it's important. Pounds equal pain. Take a look in your life this week at the number of places you're carrying too much weight, physically, mentally, emotionally, and possibly even spiritually. Just so you know, is that I've spent the last 18 months every week learning from a Buddhist monk how to meditate properly and meditating every single day. Why? Because I've got a lot of spiritual baggage that I've been carrying around that I need to let go of. And as I let go, I'm able to go to a higher altitude much easier. So it works. It works on the mountain, works in your business. It works in your life. Okay. Stop carrying excess weight. Okay. Hey, Michael Odell. So true. Michael Odell was our weatherman on Kilimanjaro, our last trip up there. And the weatherman who said in his weather forecasts from 13,000, 15,000, and 16,000 feet, he says it's a 20% chance of snow, 30% chance of rain, 10% chance of sunshine, and 100% chance that I'm wrong. But he's a great guy. He's a great trainer too. Great trainer too. So thank you. Thank you, Michael, for all that. So again, one more time, I'm just going to reiterate: pounds equal pain. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If you're going to go to altitude, you got to shed it. Don't be carrying more than you need to. And simplicity is genius. Remember, you have to have the right guide, the right gear, the right mindset and attitude, and the right preparation. Then you can move to the scalable business. Then you can start moving your altitude to a higher camp. Same thing on the mountain. Okay. So thank you guys. Again, go to blairsinger.com/pain. Make an appointment. Let one of us sit down and talk to you about where are the areas, because the right guide will be able to identify very quickly what's carrying in your backpack that you don't need anymore, like we did with Su Cheng. Su Cheng didn't know because he thought that's what he needed to do to survive the mountain. Until we took it off his back, opened it up, and said, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this, get rid of that. Then he was fine. He goes, oh my God, it's a whole different trip. It's a whole different journey when you get rid of the pain by getting rid of the weight. Okay? You guys be awesome. Check me out on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And send in your questions. I'm going to be doing another one of these broadcasts in a few more days to go to the next step of pounds equal pain and what specifically to get rid of and how to do it. Okay? So be awesome. Thanks for tuning in, you guys.